Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Matthew Huerta and welcome to Matdog's Christmas. This is officially Matdog's podcast, and today I'm honored by today's guest, Miss Luisa Avila. Yes,
Thank you.
so she's our social media guru. She now works for a marketing agency. She lives a super aesthetic lifestyle, and she's now an ambassador for a couture boutique here in the Valley. So just a lot of interesting stuff we're going to be talking about today. So I'm super excited to dive into it. And let's just say this is a major upgrade because last year when I was trying to do this, we did do a podcast and we were literally sitting on the side of the street. So a lot of people to thank for the process of everything that we are in now. But let's get right into it. And I hope y'all enjoy the new song. And as I cue it, enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Matdog's Christmas for Matdog's podcast. It's a very Matdog's Christmas for Matdog's podcast. Here's Matthew Huerta and he's gonna do an interview. He wants to share a happy holiday with all of you.
Okay, let me just catch my breath in there. Girl, I'm so out.
You're like, hold up. No, I was gonna say, going back to what you said about last year. I was rewatching the podcast, and I feel like wow, like we've changed so much. We've gone through you weren't even you were still working at your other job. It was crazy.
It was a lot. I think for you too. You were just starting out.
Yeah.
And with your job too.
Yeah, it was just
kind of when you were iffy. I think you had just graduated not too long ago, the summer before. And I think it's just one of those things where I don't think you realize it, but you really do inspire a lot of people. And I'm telling you, I was telling you this story even before the podcast had even started. I was showing my sister a video and she literally thought I was showing her an influencer's video. And I was like, that's actually my friend. So, it's just one of those things where your content, whether you realize it or not, it's for sure inspiring in one way or another of being like, oh my God, if this girl could do it, I could do it. Not in the sense of like it's easy, in the sense that it's doable. Yeah. So I just want to give you that credit for sure. Because I know yourself, I know how you are. You're like, not that you don't deserve it, but it's just like everything you have now, it's for sure like that good karmic energy, how they say it. Everything, your hard work is finally paying off. I mean, I know maybe there might be some hiccups in the road.
Of course.
But for sure, it's one of those things you look back on and be like, damn, I really just did that. So I'm really happy for you to be back, especially since I know we kind of don't hang out as much as we should.
I know, dude. We're busy people.
We're booked and busy. So
we're booked and busy.
We're booked and busy people.
You're literally doing your master's, no?
Yeah, I'm now in my master's. Yeah. So it's been crazy, but now that we have, that's why this video is like a whole 3 weeks earlier than from when it's going to be posted. But so something I try to get into. But let's start off with a very controversial question.
Not ready for this.
She's not going to want to
get me canceled.
No, I ain't going to get you canceled, girl. It's going to be like that TikTok where they're all like, when you tell your friend to start a podcast and they start and they're like, oh, no, we're not. That's
got the cameras.
Also, if y'all see, I got a new Matdog little note card. So we
upgraded
He's
prepared.
Year. I'm prepared today. But I did want to ask, I guess, see your opinion on it. Your personal brand and aesthetic are on point. How would you describe your style and overall vibe?
How would I describe my style and overall vibe?
Because right now, for example, you're giving me Sabrina Carpenter.
No, that's literally what I thought. I put it on and I was like checking myself out and I was like, I was making a TikTok before coming. I was like doing a get ready with me. And then I was like, this is literally Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
And I actually bought this top because of Sabrina Carpenter. But I don't know, how would I describe my style? I feel like I love fashion and I'm very specific about, for example, in social media, like what I post, like even if it's a story, I'm like, oh, like I don't like the lighting on this video or like this certain angle of this video, and I retake it or whatever. But yeah, I don't know about like specific.
Yeah, I would say like there's like a specific vibe, but it's just like aesthetic. Like for me, if you were to go to my Instagram, I don't think it's kind of all over the place.
Well, and I feel like
there's like a common theme.
I don't know.
I feel like not quirky. I don't know. I'm very bad with like.
No, me too. That's why I was like, I don't know what words to use, but like I feel like overall, I don't think I have like, because I know I go to other Instagrams of people that actually take care of their feed, or even I've talked to friends and I'm like, oh my God, this photo is beautiful. Like post it, and they're like, no, it doesn't go with my feed, and I'm like, oh, okay. But to me, it's like whatever just like whatever is me. Like that's what I like to go for.
No, I do notice that, but it's just like I don't know what it is in specific, but I feel like there is a reoccurring theme. Maybe it's just your personality, because like that's something else that I did not make mention of, but Miss Luisa did not actually major in marketing, and I feel she's literally now a social media marketing guru.
I'm a fraud.
No, but I mean, even then, it's some of those things. What did you actually study?
So I studied communications, with mass communications with like a focus on broadcast. So which you did too,
literally
right?
what I did, but I got my minor in marketing, and I feel for yourself, what really worked was making your personal brand on point to where like I feel like I understand you as a person, where you kind of talk about those parasocial relationships. If I didn't personally know you because of college, I feel like I would have known you a lot more because of your vibe and stuff. Especially considering artists, I feel like knowing sorry. My mind is like all over the place.
No, it's fine. Me too. I'm like,
I was gonna ask you like 3 questions at once, but talking about like just artists itself, you did actually see Sabrina Carpenter before she like officially blew up.
I did.
How was that?
I oh my god! Thank you for bringing that up. No, because I have a music video that I made for like one of her Christmas songs, like in high school.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan of hers since Girl Meets World came out.
Yeah.
I used to watch the show like religiously, and it's one of the shows that helped me how to like learn English, because like I would watch it with like the subtitles and everything. And I've always been a fan. I think the only albums I didn't listen to a lot was the singular ones, other than like the main songs of the albums. But for her emos I Consent, we went to see her in San Antonio, me, Annabelle, and my other friend Haiti. And it was like such a small venue. It was so intimate. I was rewatching videos like last week. And she was right here in front of me, dude. And it's like insane to see her grow. And I'm so proud, because I feel like she's one of those that like, I mean, people talk about it, how like it wasn't an overnight success for her. Like she had to work and rework her branding, and right now like it's just beautiful. Like everything that she does is aligns to who she is as a person or as an artist. And I just love to see her succeed. I'm so sad I didn't get to go to her concert, but hopefully next time.
Yeah, I know she's working on another album, so hopefully she will go on tour again. So if she does, I will for sure be going, because I feel like like the main artists right now are for sure Charlie or Sabrina,
Olivia.
And you recently did a freaking photo shoot with your friend Macy, a chapel themed, and that was so good. But like my point in bringing that up is like just you supporting those artists itself. Like me too, I support women. I love their vibes.
Women in the arts.
Yes, women in the arts. But I do really feel if you were to go to a concert, like you could totally be friends with those people, because they're supporting them for a reason. Especially like I feel like that kind of does go based off of your personality. You have to be a certain personality trait to for sure be supporting artists like that. Because not that they're unique, but they're for sure different.
Yeah.
You have to give them a chance.
Yeah.
But that's so like awesome that you saw her before she officially blew up.
I know.
Because I feel like that from Melanie Martinez. Because I listen to Melanie Martinez like even like not that she's blown up, because now she's very controversial because of how expensive she is now. But I think it's one of those things like you supported her before her official blow up, and like that's really good. But let me ask you, Sabrina Carpenter currently has a little controversy. She actually had gotten on stage and she was pretending. Well, it was during the song Juno. So it's like, do you like this one? Like, and when she gets to that position, she's doing like a SCX position.
Yeah.
So this one, she did it like if she was doing, how do you say this? PG. She was like what Donald Trump did to the microphone.
The very recent one, the one where she's like wearing the silver.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So what is your thoughts on that little controversy?
Well, I don't know how that is a controversy in the sense, because I know like there's a lot of controversy.
It's not. But a lot of people are turning it into controversy. So like, what are your thoughts on that?
So there's a lot of like families that are like, oh, I can't believe I took my daughter to this. I'm like, you listen to the songs. Like there's even like videos of parents singing the songs as well. It's like, like the songs are not for kids. So, and then obviously like, come on, like the internet, like everybody's on the internet. You see all the videos, like even before probably going, like I already seen the whole concert just on my TikTok feed. So it's like, you know what to expect of the concert. So to be surprised when those things happen, like, and she's an adult. It's not like she's a child. Like she's an adult. So yeah, that's my take on that.
I think it would also be like just if you're taking your kids to a concert, like Lady Gaga even said it once, like why did you bring your kids? Like I'm sorry, but that's on you, Pookie.
So, better parenting.
Yeah, and then I guess like now transitioning, because I totally did not ask you any of the questions I had listed.
I know, it's like
we're jumping. But my point is, I wanted to go over your matcha obsession. You're actually the person that got me into drinking
Dude,
matcha.
no, and I
and
remember.
I see you making it every morning.
I'm sorry,
It's so
but
aesthetic.
I'm gonna roast you because I
Yeah.
remember you.
Girl, I know what you're talking about. Bye.
You bought like, I don't know, you said that you went to Trader Joe's or
Yes, I did
something,
go to
and then
Trader
you
Joe's.
bought like a matcha. I'm like, oh baby, no.
Yeah.
Because okay, when it comes to matcha, it is very important where you get it from. Like matcha comes from Japan, and like getting it like a ceremonial matcha. Like I get my matcha from like different websites, but they're imported from like Japan.
Yeah.
So what's it called? Yeah, first of all, like your matcha matters, and obviously like having the right tools, like your whisk, to make it, and then yeah, like we literally could make a whole video like how to make the matcha, but yeah, it's an art. Like I love making. It's like my little self-care moment in the morning where I make like
it's
my
for sure
matcha,
part
take
of
my
your
time.
morning routine. But I saw you even had, I think you said it, Japanese or Chinese or
Japanese.
Japanese, the little stir.
Oh, this
when
one,
I
the
had
whisk,
actually
the
gone
whisk.
to Epcot, they had that stir, but it was like
Yeah.
for $40, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I ain't gonna buy that.
No,
but
dude, buy it like on
reminded me
Amazon.
of you was my point. So I feel like that kind of falls into your personality trait as well. Like matcha is for sure the thing I know you for. So when it comes to mixes, I know a lot of people are like mixing like not rosé. Like I don't know what it is. It's
Like the
red.
syrups?
Yeah, they put syrups in it. They have like milk in it. There's even peach, mango. What do you think of those combinations?
I
or do you
mean-
think like maybe people should just enjoy it?
No,
itself?
no. I have because I love matcha, but then also my friend Yesenia and my friend Macy love matcha,
Yeah.
so I'm always sending them like little recipes that I see on my feed. And sometimes, like for example, Yesenia, I'll send some to her, and we're like, "Well, that looks a little interesting," or like
Yeah.
we're like, "Well, we wouldn't try that. Just like leave the matcha alone."
Yeah.
Because there's some like that are wild, but I like the blueberry or
Yeah.
like I've done like mango matcha.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on the person. Like if you like it, go for it. But sometimes I do see some. Oh no, she has sent me one. There's like a ramen with matcha, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, that's
okay,
weird.
that's
Yeah,
where I
would
draw the
not-
line.
That's a hot take.
That's a hot
That's for
take.
sure one of those like hear me out.
Like it looked,
literally.
it looked pretty. Like
Yeah.
the matcha, like the ramen looked really cool. But if like matcha,
Yeah.
that's no. But for example, me, I just keep it very simple. Like I'll put like vanilla syrup,
Yeah.
maybe honey. I don't like lavender. Hot take. I used to pretend I'd be like, oh yeah, like lavender matcha or like a lavender latte.
Yeah. It's a purple one. It's purple, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. I think
It's
that's
like
the one I was
it's a
thinking of.
flower. So
not
to
rose.
me,
I kept saying rose, but I meant
yeah,
lavender.
the
the whole
lavender.
time.
What's it called? I mean, what's it called? I just don't like flowery taste when
Yeah.
it comes. Yeah, like
Yeah,
when it comes. Like
yeah.
I like the smell of it.
When
but-
I know it's weird, but like I think it was in elementary. They made us like taste the leaves or something. I don't know if they made you do that, but for me, they would like make us like chew on the roses and stuff. That's kind of how it feels. Like yeah, but like just so like it was like some science class. But point is, I know what you mean because it
I
does
just
taste
don't.
very like earthy.
There's some people like
But
her. She loves it.
You
but
see, that's what people would say about matcha though. That it tastes very
But
earthy,
that's
like
because
grass.
they don't have interest. Because
Yeah.
for example, my tia, she would say, "Oh, how do you make it? I bought this from HEB, like in Reynosa, like
Yeah.
HEB in Reynosa," and I'm like, "Tia, no, like that's not
Yeah.
good matcha." And you can see it in the color. Like you'll
Yeah.
see, like when it looks very not green and kind of like what's it called? Not silver. What's
Frothy,
it?
or
No. ¿Cómo se llama
like
este
white?
color?
Like-
Se me fue el nombre.
Gray?
Gray.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like gray between gray and green. It's like I don't know. Like it looks that's bad.
So then how would you grade like back then when I was going through my aesthetic lifestyle? I still do randomly drink matcha, but I've been trying to stay away from energy drinks and everything because I've been trying to whatever. Point is before I
talk
go
about
on that whole tangent, point is I tried staying away from it, but back then when I would make it, how did you think I was making my matcha? Do you think it was like all right, or do you think it's like girl work on it? I felt that side eye. Yeah.
I'm like, ooh. A lot of people don't know how to make it.
You're trying to say it the nicest way you can. It's
Even
okay, yeah.
me, like, 'cause, for example, my sister-in-law, like 2 years ago, she got me like the frother for drinking stuff, and I would like combine my matcha. Like I'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, the water and the matcha. But okay, when it comes to matcha, you get the rice ceremonial matcha, like which there's so many brands, so obviously like experiment and see which ones, because some can be sweeter, others can be like more bitter or stronger.
Yeah.
And then you need like the little, ¿cómo se dice? You need to get rid of the clumps through the, no me acuerdo cómo
The
se llama.
strainer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you have to get rid of that, and then water has to be hot but not like boiling.
Gotcha.
So because then it's gonna burn like the
Yeah, you say,
matcha
I would do
taste.
cold water.
Yeah, well,
that's
I mean,
right.
it can be hot, but not like when it's boiling. O sea, que
Yeah.
está saliendo el humo. Like, no. Because then it's going to burn the taste. And then you whisk it, and you have to whisk, like, you can mix it first, and then you have to whisk it, like, zigzag movement. So, yeah, and then just, like, mix it as much as you need to, and that's it.
What?
But like you definitely do need to like, I guess, I mean you can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
But I would say like I would suggest like getting the whiz, getting
Yeah.
like the right, like knowing how to do it, and obviously like depending on how you like it. If you like it really strong, you can do like 3 scoops or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah. For sure, one of those things where it's like you don't realize how much work goes into like just doing
Yeah,
a
it's
normal
an
morning.
art. It's like
Yeah.
coffee. Like
Yeah.
coffee, like
I will agree saying that
Yeah.
it's an art because it's also just not everyone's cup of tea. So
yeah, for
you
sure,
gotta
and
get
that's
into
okay.
it.
Like even coffee,
Yeah.
like people
Yeah.
don't like coffee. Other
Yeah.
people like it black. Like people like it with like more like syrups
Yeah.
or whatever.
Or they start
But
customizing them how they want to. So like talking about just like in general, like you implementing this to your daily routine, you post this too. Like you, you're like, girl, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm kind of on a budget. She's trying. It's because I forgot to get the freaking customize in the back. But it's okay.
I
girl.
forget there's like 3 other.
Don't worry. We'll zoom in on the one where it shows the mic. But point is, you post this. You make it part of your morning routine. I think it's for me. I personally did go through a burnout when it comes to social media. But before we get to that topic, though,
Okay.
I did want to talk about what got you into like. I'm now going to post on social media because I'm sure you've realized it by now, but you should probably surround yourself with people that post every day. But for me, now that I'm working again, like in a normal job, I realize how many people don't post everything.
Yeah. Okay.
What's your take on that?
So I feel like I've always been one to like just. I like the attention. I love like even
too.
when I was a kid, like I would make like silly like music videos with my cousins or like be
Yeah.
taking photos all the time. Like that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was a kid, like I went to a birthday party.
Yeah.
And my mom picked me up, and the mom was like, "Oh yeah, Luisa wanted to be in all the photos," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah.
diva."
Uh-huh.
But what's it called? Yeah, I've always liked it, and I mean, aside from like being in front of the camera, I like the like the creative part of it, like the editing and like I remember during COVID. Now that you mentioned that about like
Yeah.
work and stuff, I do realize that now. I guess I don't know what it is when it comes to working with, because I've seen like so many people that are like posting on social media
Yeah.
or like they're always constantly posting, and then they get a job on social media and they kind of like drift away from their personal
Yeah.
content, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's happened to me as well.
Like where you kind of like channel an alter ego and you're no longer that person. Is that what you
Like
mean? Or-
no, like I guess just like you get drink, because obviously like it sucks because like it's been so let me gather my thoughts and then I can
like
say, because I don't want to.
maybe overwhelming.
Yeah, like there's obviously a lot of creativeness that goes into
Yeah.
creating like for example for my clients, like I
Yeah.
have to be like constantly thinking of ideas, and obviously sometimes we burn out and we're like, oh, we don't know what to do. So we do need to take that little like step aside to see to like even with ourselves, it's just
Like
like on our
analyze,
personal
making sure it's
yeah.
actually on brand and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
'Cause
So-
you don't want to just start doing stuff for the trends.
For
which I
sure.
do a lot.
No, and that's good too, but like also like it's not like, oh, let me sit down and create a million ideas. Like
Yeah.
creativeness comes differently for everybody.
Yeah.
Or even when you're a writer, like you have the writer's block or whatever. So I feel like because I put so much effort into like my job and clients and content for them, sometimes I forget about my own, or I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't really want to do like stuff for me.
Yeah.
Even me, like I feel like I want to do so much for myself when it comes to content, but I've been like, I get lazy, or I
Yeah.
prefer to take that time to like spend it with people or my friends or like my personal life or whatever. But yeah.
I think I totally feel you on so many aspects of it. I think just starting from the beginning of growing up, I for sure was one of those was like the attention. So my grandpa was the one that would always record. So I for sure probably picked that up from him. But I think what got me into it was like Facebook, posting on Facebook.
Yeah,
I had
for
MySpace.
sure.
I was posting on YouTube. But I think my transition into it was because I did actually just write a paper about this, because I had to write like a personal philosophy paper, just kind of
Cool.
discussing as to like why I'm now doing the masters that I'm doing. And since I'm trying to be a therapist, I had to talk about like how would I treat a person like myself. And it was one of those things where it's like maybe I don't know if it kind of relates to you too.
feel
Coming
like
from
I'm
a
so
Mexican
far away,
family.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. The camera's pointing right at you.
Okay.
But like coming from a Mexican family, doing social media is for sure not a job in a Mexican family's point of view. And for me, I was writing about it, and it's like we do get the attention through it. Like we get some sort of validation through posting on social media. And I think for me, I had a burnout, and that burnout came from me making social media a job instead of keeping it like a hobby. So
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you that question
Yeah.
more so. You're literally working in this now, and you also kind of want to keep it for yourself. Like, I guess how they talk about a work-life balance.
Yeah.
I think it's harder when you're working in social
Yeah,
media.
for
I
sure.
think I'm kind of working in social media right now too.
Yeah.
Since I work for marketing with the university. and communications. But how do you maintain that balance? Because I know you said it, like you still want to spend time with your friends and stuff. But how would you go about, I guess, giving advice to someone that wants to take the same route as you?
No, for example, I would say, I work at a marketing company, so obviously like creating content for the clients and everything. So I feel like for the longest time, me just scrolling was like me focusing like, oh, this will be good for this client, this will be good for this other client, and I think now it's like, okay, I work in the morning and I do the things that I have to do, and like I take my time if I need to be creative and something, whatever. But then once it's like my me time, it's my me time, and I don't think about work. And obviously, like, if I see stuff, I save it. But I guess just like having that, like, okay, when you're working, and then when you're like having time to yourself, have that time to yourself. Because it would get like, sometimes I wouldn't even want to be on my phone just because I'm in it all day long because of work. I just want to disconnect from it, or I don't really want to like get tired of the trends, or like especially because I see, like, of course I'm getting, what's it called, like I need to be on top of trends, but then it's like, okay, my whole feed becomes that one single trend, and it's like, okay, I'm over it. Like I want original content, or I want different content on my feed. But yeah, just having that, like, and I feel like especially on social media, like I was having this conversation with a friend where her job, she just wants like a work phone. Because she's like, I don't, like, she has all the content for the job on her phone. It's like, I mean, that there should be like that, what's it called?
Like a separation.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I feel like just people they just see like, oh, social media, making videos, it's simple, it's whatever. So they don't put as much, what would I say, like, not effort, but like,
I guess validation.
Credit. There you go. Like credit into like what we do.
And how much work goes into it.
Exactly.
Because I think it's still one of those things, like, even if you film on your phone, you still have to think of, like, you can't just film on your phone. You might want to hook up, like, a microphone.
Exactly.
You might want to get lighting, because not all lighting's the best. So, like, it's easy. Like, for right now, for me, example, I guess, like, to kind of just, like, wrap up that question, I would just say people setting their boundaries. I think the idea of having a work phone, or just, like, a second phone, maybe altering to like Google Text, where you could have like a separate phone number to separate your clients and stuff would be good, or separating your accounts. I think that's what I did with Matrix Films, because I take photography on the side. If y'all are in the RGB, hit me up. But I think for me, I created my own For You page with that account. So like literally my For You page is my For You page in my personal account. So that would be my take. If you're not doing that already, I would for sure make like a second page, like maybe make an account. Like, you don't have to like make it public or anything, but for sure use it to scroll for your clients. For myself, and I would give that tip for everyone else, because that's what I used to do for work too. But going back on the whole thing of like, what was I talking about actually?
Just like about posting and posting.
Girl, I had I had a point. I had a point to this.
No, and I know you had also mentioned, I don't know if maybe we can cut this out, but like, that you said like, oh, you know, having people that post and other people that like don't post as much. And I do see that, like, I have so many friends that do like social media, but they don't post, and or like sometimes I'm like, at least before, I feel like I would post more about my personal life, like, oh, I'm here with this friend, or I'm here doing this, and I'm here, and now it's like, okay, distance my, like, I don't post as much as I used to. Post
Girl,
it later.
you were in France, first of all, or Paris. I don't know where the hell you went once, and you literally did not post anything. And I was like, oh,
yes, I did.
No, girl, you did not post real time. Like your stories.
I would, no, it's because, okay, for stories, I would post, but like, remember, there's like the time difference.
Okay.
So it was
still, like I would have posted like maybe 30 stories by then.
I did post a lot though, but that's the thing I have trouble with. It's like, I do want to put myself out there, but at the same time, I am like, I guess I have this fear of like, oh, like people are gonna get annoyed with me, and or people are gonna just like be like, they don't really care about seeing this about myself. So it's like, and especially because I have so many friends that are very private with their social media, and I'm like, oh, like if they're not posting it, like maybe I shouldn't be posting like certain things, especially not so.
With that, how you say how like maybe. Not that it's awkward, but I have been told before, like, annoying people. You said annoying people. Like, you feel like you're going to annoy them. I really don't care anymore. Because I feel for me, it's like when I post a lot, I lose my views. When I post very little, it's like my views go up. Because like, and I don't know if it's like, oh, did he finally post? Did he not post? Like, I don't know what the freaking... I'll never understand the algorithm. Like, I'll never understand it. Because it's like when I'm posting a lot, my views are literally so low. Where it's just like, girl, why am I even posting? And then when I don't, it's like there's a lot of people, and I feel like it's in my, because I'm very, very what's it called? Not egoistic. What's it? Self-centered, I guess you could say. Like an attention seeker.
Me too.
So in my head, I'm literally like, oh my God, maybe they're wondering why I haven't posted all day. But that's probably not even what they're thinking. Like that's literally what goes through my head every single time. But maybe when you post a lot, they like see your story first and like, let's skip it.
Yeah.
I actually try to analyze people's stories. Like for years, I do analyze them. Because for me, I kind of look at it in the perspective of like, what trends can I take from, well, not take from her, but what trends can I
like
inspire
get
from?
inspired. Yeah, exactly.
So I think that is fun. So wherever this ADHD conversation was going, I'm gonna skip it because girl, I had a point. I was like getting deep and stuff, and I don't even know where I was getting into. When I'm editing, I'm gonna be so confused. I'm so sorry we lost y'all because we had like 4 different conversations with that one question. But my next question was gonna be your ambassadorship. So that's kind of why I had written this question in here when it came to like collab and sponsorships.
Okay.
Because your personal brand had a big deal with it too, even though maybe you might have worked with them previously. I think it's still one of those things where they didn't just choose you to be an ambassador for Crash Gal for no reason. You know, you for sure kind of sold yourself. But how, if you're able to mention it, was that process? And do you think your personal brand had a big deal with it?
For sure, just because like when it comes to like my personal brand having a big deal with it, just because I've always love fashion and I always put it out there. Like I'm always like, oh, my OOTD or like posting videos of my outfits. I think that's like my main thing or what I would want to focus my content more on. What was the other question?
I was just asking like what kind of led to that conversation to be like, how do you want to be an ambassador? Did you reach out?
No.
Like in case someone had a question about.
They had the opportunity, and I think one of my friends sent it to me. And she's like, "Oh, we should apply." And so I was a little iffy about it because I was like, I don't know. Like I'm sure like a lot of people want to do it. Like I don't know if like they'll get me or whatever. But I did it because I was like, there's nothing to lose. Like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And it did take a while like to hear back, just because like they were going through. Like I know they had like a lot of people like applying for it. And they did reach out, and I've done like a couple shoots with them. Like they have a what's it called? They have their models, and like they're very they always use them. It's not like you see a new face often. So you see like the regular models with them that work with them. So it's pretty cool. And the girls, like obviously like the girls in charge of the content, they're so helpful, and they're always making you feel confident in the shoots, and they always just know what to do with the content. So it's really nice too.
I'm so sorry to stop y'all from listening to the awesome podcast, but we're taking this break as a sponsorship. But I do have a side business. It's Matrix Films. So if you are based from the Rio Grande Valley, make sure to go follow my Instagram, Matrix Films, and book me now. And I could get y'all the photo shoot you want. I don't have my own studio, but we can make something work if you're here from the Valley. So go to Matrix Films on Instagram and DM me there. Now, I did actually want to talk about ACL. So you did go to ACL, and I'm bringing it up because Coachella season. I know, girl. Let me just tell you about it. But Coachella season's coming up. And I honestly feel like ACL
Dude,
is like,
no.
that's like the Texas version
artist,
of Coachella.
My favorite art, yeah, it is. But my favorite artist is going. Sorry, I'm sorry. My favorite artist is going to Coachella, and I'm so sad because I'm broke. No, Joe, DJO. He's from the guy from Stranger Things, the guy that sings "End from End of Beginning."
Okay.
When I'm back in Chicago, I feel
Okay, gotcha. Okay. No, actually, it's a good lineup, and I'm seeing a lot of people.
So
not to be mean, but some people I wouldn't think they could afford to go to Coachella are going, and I'm just like, girl.
Wait, who?
It's just some friends.
Let's go.
Girl,
one day. I just want to go on Friday.
Honestly, we could literally do a round trip because I wanted to see Billie Eilish, but she's completely sold out. I was literally going to do a day trip to go to Arizona because that's like the closest thing I could find. Travel-wise, it would have only been $400, like plane, hotel, whatever, right? And the tickets were completely sold out, like nowhere is found. But my point is, I'd totally be down to go to Coachella. Like I'm being serious.
Just one, like I wouldn't be able to for like the 3 days, but maybe one day. Like let me do my research because they sell like 1 day pass.
They do sell 1 day passes. It's exactly like ACL. That's what I was asking. I feel for us, we were kind of approaching the ACL because I originally was going to go to ACL with her, but
and this was your first time going too, right? Or
actually, I had gone before.
Oh yeah, never mind.
I didn't want to go again because I feel like we were making it like an influencer trip, and it would have been so fun. But unfortunately, with scheduling purposes and stuff, because financially I could have afforded. Well, I couldn't. I shouldn't have had gone. Like I shouldn't have had spent my money on that, but I would have made it work. You know?
Yeah.
But since y'all went, how was it? Like, do you feel like it's an influencer thing? Like, I see ACL like Coachella. Like everyone's taking
For
their
sure,
pictures.
like everybody, yeah, of course, and they have like their little sections where like they have the ACL Fest like
Yeah.
sign and like the flags and everything. So of course, like people are there also to be like taking their photos. For sure, me like I take it even though it's not Coachella, like I take it very seriously. At least with
Yeah.
my outfits, I'm like, oh, like for example, for Chappell, I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear pink, and I got like a cowboy hat, and so the shoes didn't work out because I did cowboy boots the first
Yeah.
day for like 2 hours. We just went to see the Marias that day. And I was dying, so I went to Walmart to buy shoes because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna last for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Which
Did you see anyone famous though? I'm sorry.
no. That girl that does interviews, Brittany.
Brittany Broski.
Yeah.
Shut up.
She was there.
Did you interview?
Hey, no, I didn't even like. I saw her, but very like people were
Oh,
starting
actually,
to scream, and I was like,
she's
whoa.
from Houston or Austin. I think she's actually from Austin.
Yeah, she's from Texas, I think. So
Crazy.
she's gone like the past 2 years. I know like last
Yeah,
year
that
she
wasn't there
interviewed Hosier, and so what's it called? But yeah, I mean there's some people, but I wouldn't really like know them.
Yeah.
But what's it called for? First day I went to see the Marias. I love the Marias. I was almost about to be parquet, but I was a little far, so I couldn't like fully
Yeah.
like. But the performance was amazing, and then she goes into the crowd like to the barcade people, and so I was able to like see her like super close. And then the second day we mostly stayed for Dua Lipa's set. And my friend Isaiah, I went with Isaiah, Macy, and my boss, and so Isaiah was able to get us barcade, and
Yeah.
then me and Macy were like taking the photos and everything, and then we went to meet him, and they let, because I'm the shortest, like they let me be like on the actual barcade, and then
Yeah.
they were behind me, and I was like, but it was such an amazing show from Dua Lipa and like all the artists before her too.
Yeah.
Like it was such a good experience. And then that day, thankfully, like it was hot at first, but then at night it got like kind of chilly.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. The third day though, Chappell Fest.
Yeah.
Dude, that was
That was
crazy.
gonna be my next question.
You're like, that's
'cause
what I wanted to get into.
I was honestly very surprised that she went because I feel she was
Well, it's
canceling
'cause-
so much.
Oh yeah,
already,
yeah.
'cause that
No,
was gonna be
and
the
that
time.
was a fear of ours because she canceled the New York one.
Yeah.
Just like before ACL, and everybody was like, "Freak! Like she's gonna be canceling
Yeah.
like ACL, just because she blew up before all of this. Like I
Yeah.
think during the summer. So thankfully she went, and the performance was. It's crazy because her set was literally just like an hour.
Yeah.
Because she was before Travis. So Travis? No, sorry, Tyler the Creator.
Oh, Tyler.
And so
I don't like him, but yeah.
I don't really listen to him, but
Yeah.
like
You
we
stayed.
saw him. We saw him for a little bit because Macy does like him. So
Oh,
we
gotcha.
did Chapo, and then once we were done, we went to get some food, and then we saw Tyler for a little bit, and then we went home.
Yeah.
But it was insane because it was so hot. It was
Yeah.
the hottest day was Chapo's day, and we got there like at
I do
1.
remember seeing y'all's thing.
Yeah.
And literally, you
I
said
had-
4
like, we
people
have
went with y'all,
bandanas,
so
and
that
then-
space was ready for me.
Like we have bandanas, and thankfully like the workers were very helpful. Like they
Yeah.
were spraying the people with water. They were passing like water to
Wait,
everybody.
did they still have the box waters by any
Yeah,
chance?
yeah. They were
Girl,
passing them
I remember
out.
when I had gone to ACL because
Uh-huh.
when I had gone, Billie Eilish was there.
Yeah.
They were throwing the box waters, and I remember it knocked a girl out. So
No,
that's
they
why
were
it-
passing
that-
it. Like they were
oh,
like
gotcha. They learned their
everybody be like,
lesson.
"Oh, who wants water?" And like
Yeah.
if someone in the middle wanted, like
Yeah.
we would pass it. There were people that were passing out. I thought I was gonna pass out. Like I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna
No,
make it.
yeah, it is
But
hot.
thankfully, Macy was like, "Oh, let's get like our bandanas wet." And then they were also
Yeah.
like offering like, "Oh, give me your bandanas, and then we'll put it on cold water, and then you put it in your head." Did
Yeah.
wonders.
Yeah.
Like that saved us, honestly.
Yeah.
But Chapo was amazing. The concert, like I was so close. Not like as close as I would have loved to be, but I still like when she was on the catwalk, like I would see her perfectly, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
And it was just a very nice experience. I definitely cried, and it was just nice because everybody was in the same. Like
Yeah.
we all loved her.
I'm
so
telling you, it's like one of those things. Like if you were to turn like to the side and met a stranger, I feel like they
Exactly.
still would have been like approachable in the
Yeah,
sense
of
of like,
course, of course.
she has a niche group of people where I don't know, they're nicer.
Well-
I did want to leave this question though because you did take some really awesome photos of your friend Macy, Chapel inspired.
Yes.
Was there a reason behind it? Because I know she's very feminist. I know she's very like woman empowerment. Was there more towards that photo shoot?
Of course. So going back to Chapo, like especially like Pink Penny Club, and which is the song
Yeah.
I used for the post. for Macy, I'm not gonna speak for her, but it's just a very special song to her. And I had told her like I just want to get more into photography because that's something I love to do. But again, like I feel like I don't have the time to do it, or like I make excuses and I don't do it. So that day I was like, girl, like I want to have a photo shoot and I want to make it chappel inspired because like obviously before the concert we would send each other like so many videos of people recreating Chappel's makeup look, and she did it for her actual like set for Chappel's day. And so I was like, I want to do one where you do it and obviously like dress up as however you feel like more comfortable and make it just like Chappell inspired. First, it was going to be just at my house just because I wanted to get started. I was like, let's do it. And I wanted like a background and just make it more like dreamy and stuff. But then I remember my boyfriend lives in like near a field. And we took like when we first started dating, he took me there and we took like photos there. And so I was like, oh, like that'd be so cute. Like we make it like Chapo, but like Texas, and like I can make it like a dreamy field photo shoot. And that's how it started. Into like we went voting that day early, and then we headed to the shoot. So she went with her makeup and everything to the voting.
Staring at her?
Yes, but also it was like Halloween weekend, so it's not like it was like okay, it's like
I totally forgot.
That's what she said. So I think she said that like a little girl was like looking at her like, oh my god, but that was really cute. And then we went to take the photos, and it was funny because I had my camera, but I don't know, like I just moved recently, like homes, and so I can't find certain things, and I don't have the charger for it. So the day of, I was like, let me see if I have battery, and then I saw it, and my camera was almost dying, and I didn't have the charger, so I was like, I don't know what to do. I called my boyfriend. He's like, no, it's okay. Like we can like you wanted to do film, so we can go buy like a film roll and do it with his film camera. But then also Macy had a camera, so I was like, oh hey, can I borrow yours? Like, is it charged? And she's like, yeah. And so, and it was a Sony camera. I usually like use Canon. So yeah, we were able to like, it was nice to like, I guess like figure in the Sony one out, and they came out beautiful. We couldn't figure out how to move the aperture on her camera. And so I was like having to adjust with the shutter speed and like the ISO to make it work. But even like I was just like, you know what, even with editing, like that's what I love to do, like video editing. I mean, sorry, help.
Literally, as I started taking more photos, I did not realize like most recently the photos I took last week, like what the hell, the photos in real life look like really
I saw those, and those were so girl, pretty.
It was the editing.
But like editing, like of course like a photo itself, like if you know your settings and stuff, you can make it perfect the first shot. But like if you don't, that's okay. Like post production, like when you get to the editing of the photo, and you can get more creative because you can play with like the midtones and like the shadows, and like you can make it like the color grading of it, and they come like you can make it whatever you want. And she had told me like, oh, you should try out like Photoshop, because I know there's ways to obviously edit a photo in Photoshop.
I do not like Photoshop.
I don't feel comfortable enough. So I feel like with Lightroom, like I already know how I want my photos, or how I have the vision for something. So I'm like, okay, like I know how to edit. But in Photoshop, I was like, I don't know. I feel like I would have to watch tutorials and like see, like I don't have a vision for or what I can do with Photoshop. So I feel like right now I just want to post this as like I envision them. And then later as I go, like I need to start putting myself more out there with like Photoshop and like see what little things I can do with it, because I'm sure like obviously there's so many things I just don't know. But yeah,
that's I think even though like I was just asking more so because I feel like that was a very powerful photo. So I'm very glad y'all did it, because it meant so much in the sense that like I'm telling you, like even if you realize it or not, there's so many eyes or not eyes, but like a lot of people that are inspired by your work, especially what you do. So that photo went a long way, and I feel like it just like represented so much, especially the political climate of it all. So
and that's what I meant. Really like obviously we did it the day of voting day, but then I posted them like during like once election had happened. So to me, like it meant even more, because it's like that's what I wanted with this photo shoot. Like I wanted her to feel like herself, because especially like that song specifically, it speaks so much to her, and she feels very emotional about it. So that's why I wanted her, like I want you to be you. I want you to like take this opportunity to feel like yourself, like take it in a creative aspect as well. So I don't know. It was so fun to shoot. It's my favorite shoot I've done so far, and I want to do more eventually.
No, that I'm glad you're taking that route, because it is for sure one of those like creative things. But you did mention your boyfriend, so I did, only if you're comfortable mentioning it, because I'm for sure one of those people. I would classify myself like a hopeless romantic.
Aww,
and I'm not gonna lie.
Too,
no. But girl, I remember we've had conversations about this before. Of like, I feel like I don't recall if you were saying it, but I remember we kind of related a bit in the love realm, in the sense of like, I feel like I'm never gonna find that person. And like, what do you think? Like, I don't know. How did this happen? Like, what would you give advice to a hopeless romantic? You should relate.
I think they're cleaning out.
Oh my god, I got scared. Y'all thought we were getting robbed.
I saw it. I was like, who's coming? But they're just cleaning, whatever. What's it called? I mean, you've been with me throughout these past years. You know it's been also difficult on my end, and I've gone through my own experiences that truly, although like they were not amazing people, they did teach me a lot about what I want out of a relationship or out of a person. This is my first relationship ever, so he's my first boyfriend, and I met him through a mutual friend. I met him, actually he had a crush on me a while back, because like my friend would, like I would post with my friend and she would repost it, and he'd be like, oh, who is she? And she was like, no, you're not ready for her, blah blah blah. Like but then on her birthday she had a birthday brunch, and it was gonna be like originally all girls, but then he wanted to go to meet me apparently, and what's it called, so she invited him and her boyfriend, and so that's where I met him, but like nothing really happened, like like we talked and everything, but like nothing, like, oh, like, you know, until
did you pick up on it by any chance? Or
I didn't, honestly, like when I saw him, like I was like, oh,
girl, if I found out anyone was interested in me like that, like they're coming to the dinner to meet you, dude, I
didn't know, like, though, like my friend didn't, it's because at the time I was seeing something else.
Oh, gotcha.
But so my friend was like, oh, I think she's taken, and so I mean, he didn't make any moves either, like he was kind of like, I now that I look back, like he was very like, oh, like I had a ring, and he made conversation about that, or like he was talking to me and stuff, but also he was sitting next to one of my friend's friend, and I was like, oh, I think they're dating, because I did see him and I was like, oh, he's cute, but then I was like, oh, but it's his sister. And so
oh my god,
it was his sister, but I just, because I know the friend, and
girl, I feel like I'm totally an empath, because I'm like feeling your emotions in that moment, like
you're like,
oh
feel, no,
because like if you like thinking that, you're like, oh, like okay, like I'm not gonna
I was just like but so it just wasn't the time, I guess, but then we started talking. He like replied to one of my stories. I was making coffee with my friend Cynthia, and he replied, and honestly, like I had like already like being, like he followed me at the beginning, maybe like March or something. Because I showed up on his page, like on For You, or not his, like his reels. And so we follow each other, and I would see his stuff, and I was like, oh, like he's funny, or like he's cute, whatever. But then he talked to me, and then from there, like we just continued like texting. And I think at the time at the time he was in LA for a concert. And then he was staying, like he went with a friend, and he was staying with one of my high school friends. So he was like, oh, like I'm talking to this girl, and she was like, oh, who is she? And then he was like, oh, Luisa Avila, and she was like, no way, like I know Luisa. But it was really cute. And what's it called? Yeah, once he came back, like we hang out, and then we just continue like hanging out, and here we are.
But like even through social media, I mean, I've never met the man, but I feel like y'all complement each other so well in the sense of like creativity wise too. Because I saw y'all did like a little short film too.
He loves to do films. Like he's competed on like short film competitions, and just he's very creative. And that's what we say, like, because I feel like my social media is like my thing, but like I also love when like video, like we talked about it, like video editing, and obviously like film. Like I love to be part of like a film production at some point, and whatever. Like there's so many aspects that I love about like what it takes to make a movie that I would love to be part of. And he does it. Like he writes them, he writes the scripts, he comes up with the ideas, he like shoots them, edits. So he's very creative, and that's the thing. Like, okay, he learns from me, because he also like has to work with companies, like marketing companies, where he needs to know social media, but also I learn from him in that other aspect. So it's pretty cool.
That's I really like that for you. I'm very happy for you, but I said that wrong. Wrong words. I meant to say I'm very happy for you, because it's just one of those things where it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning of like I feel like your hard work, or like, you know, like just working, like everything's paying off, like everything's like kind of like
that makes
like
me
the puzzle
so
pieces
like,
are like
dude,
coming together, and that's just me looking from the outside in. I don't know what's actually going on, but I'm glad you finally found a person that you could call, I guess, like feel safe with, because I think that's what everyone wants. I mean, I would want that too. But I guess what would be your answer towards like advice, I guess you could say? Like, what could be your advice now that you're in a relationship? You're like in a different perspective now, you know, because girl, you know what freaking position I'm talking about. I'm in the position you were when you were single too. Like, no, but just in general, like as someone that's like trying to make a relationship, what advice would you give to them?
I would say like put yourself out there, like get to know, because I even now, like I have friends, and one of my friends, she's like dating, right? Or like she's like wanting to meet people, but she gets scared. She's like, oh, but I don't know them. I'm like, well, you're never gonna know someone until you give them the opportunity. And I know it's scary when there's so many dating apps and there's so much like, oh, you don't know the person, like you don't know if they're gonna kill you or whatever.
Yeah.
But you need to put yourself out there and live those experiences and learn. Like I feel like for the longest time I was just scared of getting hurt.
Yeah.
That I would like protect myself too much to where like I wouldn't, like I never had like any love interest or like a boyfriend before.
Gotcha.
Until recently when I was like, well, like I started putting myself out there, learn from different people, and what's it called? I guess I know it sounds so cheesy, but truly comes out like out of nowhere. Because like with him, like I didn't expect it to like I said, like we have followed each other for a while. Like I met him like last year, but just now, like a couple months ago, we started like dating. So you never know who you're gonna connect with or who you're gonna meet. And what I learned is just like genuinely like be yourself, and the right person. Like don't hide any aspect of you to like try to make somebody else to like you, because I would do that, or I would feel like, oh, maybe if I did this differently. But then my friend Macy, she's so smart, and she always tells me like, no, because when somebody loves you, you're never gonna be an inconvenience to them. And that's how I felt like, you know, in other with other people, where I was like, oh, like I just feel like maybe if I was this, like this was different or whatever.
Too much, you mean, or
no, like just like different, like in different aspects, I'd be like, oh, maybe like if I was different in this aspect, they would like me more. Yeah. And she's like, or like, what's it called? I guess like when you ask yourself like, oh, why don't they like me back? Yeah. Or like, oh, it's like, well, they're not the person for you, because if you're having to change yourself or have to do too much to make somebody like care for you, then that's not somebody you want to be with. Like whenever, like, because think about it, when you have a crush or when you like somebody or when you love somebody, you always make like if they're even like if they have red flags, you'll make excuses for those red flags or like bad qualities because you are interested. So whoever likes you enough won't. I feel like that sounds bad because red flag is not a good thing to overlook. I mean, not a good thing to overlook, right? But what's it called? Just the fact that somebody like will. Sorry, I feel like ya no sé ni qué estoy hablando,
but your point like, was like kind of saying like you never know when it'll come.
Yeah,
like just kind of put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there, and yeah.
This is the last break I'm giving y'all, I swear. But I do want to just give a shout out to Genuiz Studios. I want to give a shout out to Brit's Designs, who customized my mic. But Genuiz Studios is the studio of where I'm filming right now. So just want to take a quick break and give them a shout out. And thank you, and let's continue to the episode.
Love will find you.
That's true. But I did now kind of want to transition that off to pop culture. So, well, I guess like movies, I guess you could say. But I wanted to get your thoughts on, because I saw you watch The Gladiator, but I feel like the movies that are trending right now are like Wicked, Gladiator, The Substance.
Oh,
what are your thoughts? I hated The Gladiator, by the way, but like, what are your thoughts on it?
¿Por qué? No. Wait.
Okay, I only watched the first 20 minutes and I was like, I'm done. Because I don't like those sort of movies. They're so boring. Okay. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, everyone was very handsome or whatever.
You've seen the first movie though?
The second one, the new one.
But have you seen the?
Like, I don't like those movies. Like, I never got into like the Marvel universe, the DC universe.
That's not Marvel.
No, I know, but I mean like those. I feel like it's a genre.
Like action or like Okay.
No, well, like I do like it, but with The Gladiator, dude, I can't watch it. It's so boring to me. So what? And I saw a lot of people leaving the movie theater after watching The Gladiator, and they were saying that they hated it. So what is your take on it since you just watched it?
I watched it. I saw the first one with Martin like a couple weeks ago. You're fine. A couple weeks ago, and I love the first one. It is very like it's a classic and it's super good. This one, I mean, the acting is amazing. I love the production. I know, like when I went, we saw it on IMAX, and so before the movie started, they show like a 10-minute behind the scenes video, and to me it's so amazing how like the production, like the whole production, like the setting, like how like they prepare for the character and everything. So to me, I don't know, honestly, like I love the theater with like, how do I say it, like
ultrasound, like all that stuff.
No, like just like wow, like it was a good produced movie. I guess like I understand like if it's not everybody's cup of tea, but to me it was a really good movie. I really liked it. Of course, it's not perfect. Like I don't think it. Well, I don't know if this is what's it called? Controversial, but I feel like it doesn't top story wise. It doesn't top the first one, but production and just like the costumes and like the action, like it's really good.
Gotcha. And for Wicked, have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it. We might go next week.
Okay,
So
I did just watch it. It's for sure one of those things of like, if you don't like musicals, don't go. But I feel you have to understand the lore. Because I think that's what a lot of people are not understanding when it comes to Wicked. And are you excited to watch it?
I'm so excited. Like,
I think you said you were
I'm a music. Like, I used to be a theater kid. I don't feel like I know a lot of, even though I was like involved in theater, like in high school. Like, I don't know a lot of plays or like musicals. I know a few. Of course, like I know like Defying Gravity. Like I used to sing it all the time in high school. But I don't think I ever watched or got into Wicked.
Yeah.
But I think that's why, like, another thing, like, how they use, like, Ariana Grande, someone that's very, like, influential and big, and to attract other people that maybe wouldn't give Wicked a chance. Now they do because, Ariana Grande's in it. Yeah. Plus, like, she's amazing. Like, she's so talented. Like, I see it's so fitting. She did a good job of
separating herself from, like, Ariana Grande.
Yeah, for sure. Glinda. So I'm very excited to see, like, her in this type of role because I've never seen her do a musical. I'm sure she has. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what it has.
And the Substance. Have you seen The Substance? Girl, let me just tell you, I feel like that's a big take. I know. Like, I don't know what emotions you're feeling right now. But girl, I checked your shirt because I was like, does she lo mancho? Because I was like, your makeup. No. But I feel like The Substance is a take on Ozempic. Like how Ozempic's trending right now.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts of it? Because I feel like you're very into film and stuff. I thought it was very well produced. It
was super well produced. Yes. It like on Ozempic, but also like just like overall like the beauty industry of how women are always so, no matter your age, no matter what your body goes through or whatever, you have to always be on top of everything, like not like beauty wise or like career wise, anything.
And those standards are set like more towards women. And
of course. And like you see it in the movie where there's so many old man, like ugly old man, like judging like the older lady. And then once like the younger version of her comes out, it's like, oh, you're perfect. And it's like, but literally like
pretty privilege.
Yeah, like look at yourself, like look at the people that are judging this, and that's just the reality in any type of business. When like a woman gets older, she just gets less, how do I say it, what's the word that I'm looking for,
less like confident, like she loses her confidence. For sure,
but also like just in the industry of any type of industry, like less respect or less like, oh, like you don't have the looks anymore, kind of like let's bring in new people. But it's like older men that are making this decision, so it's kind of like creepy and gross. And I love the topic of the movie. I wish they would have like stayed with it. I feel like at the end, of course, like that's just, I think that director, that's just the type of movies he makes. Like all the physical, like I forget the name for the specific genre, but all the intense stuff towards the end of the movie. It's like, okay, it's not my type of movie. I understand if people like it, like those type of movies, but
like you think it could have had a better outcome. Is that what you're trying to say? Like
I wish they would have stayed, make it, because I feel like taking that turn made it a little silly, or like made me take it not as seriously anymore when the topic, like the main topic, was so good, and I was like, oh, you know what, this is so important. But then it's like transition to the body situation. I'm like, okay,
like it kind of cagged it, like the ending, like it could have taken a different ending for sure, because it for sure just ended it. Like I felt like it could have been like a part 2 sort of thing maybe, or like maybe just continue the storyline. But I think it felt right in the sense of like she overdid it. Because it's like that kind of falls into like Ozempic, like surgeries. Like they just overdid it. And I think that's kind of what goes on in the industry. Like you're saying, like they're just trying to keep up with the beauty standards. But I do agree. I should have had like maybe a different ending, because I did not like how it got.
At least it's just like my opinion. Like maybe I just don't like those type of like when it's like, okay, that's too much.
Horror. Like but I guess it would be classified horror.
But other people might be like, oh, that's so sick. Like I love the effects, like whatever, the makeup.
But overall, I think that was towards the ending. At least the beginning of it was like understandable, and I think it's very iconic, and I'm gonna see a lot of costumes for that movie for sure as time
I wanted to do the costume sheet, like the pink bodysuit. I'm like, so
I think, girl, I'm gonna get on Ozempic. I'm literally in the movie now. But since we're coming to the end, I did just kind of want to ask your thoughts, and I have the question here. But to wrap up, what advice would you give people who are just starting their content creation and like just everything you've done? Like, just kind of imagine right now you're speaking to the viewers now, because a lot of people inspire you. Like, you inspire a lot of people. Like, what advice would you give someone to kind of like maybe not be in your position in specific, but for sure to be more confident within themselves?
I love that. Thank you. What's it called? I would say I look back at the content that I would do like in high school or like even like during COVID. I feel like in COVID is where I would experiment more with content creation and like doing transitions and different stuff. Just do it. Like, just start. Even though you don't think it's perfect, like if you don't start, you're not gonna learn from it. So like I'll post a video and it's like maybe this time it wasn't perfect, but I'm like, oh, next time like I'll focus on the audio. Like the audio wasn't working on the last video. You'll start to pick up on different details, different aspects of the video. Even the way I do storytelling now, like when it comes to my videos, like before I see little things that like little clips that I would do, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like people that don't know what's happening or don't have context wouldn't understand what's going on. And now it's like, okay, now I'm more like aware of it. If I'm making a new video, I'm like, okay, this is happening because of this. So just do it. Like, even like if it's not perfect, get to it. Don't be scared to put yourself out there. Sometimes it can be scary or like you'll cringe at yourself. Honestly, when I do, sometimes I have it even now, like I have videos where I post and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cringy. I just don't look at them, but I don't take it down because I'm like, well, it's part of like the work that I've done. Exactly. And it's what I've done. Like I've learned from whatever I didn't like from that video, and I'll do it better next time. I do that style of video. But yeah, just like, I guess, just do it. Start on it and don't care what other people, because people are gonna judge you anyways. Like I have so many people that are like super supportive of my content, but I'm sure other people might see and they're like, oh, that's kind of cringy. Like why would you post that? But you know, they're not telling you, and you don't have to know. Like you don't know whatever, so just do it.
Any last words as you kind of wrap up the first guest of my podcast?
Oh my god!
Any last words that you would just want to say?
I no lo sé.
No, you're good.
Thank you for having me, and I also like, I guess, want to give you a shout out because I was watching, like I said, I was watching our last podcast, and we've grown so much, and you're someone who's very consistent with your work and your videos, and like that's something that I also like look up to you a lot. Like like I guess I also want to be more consistent with my content, and that motivates me that there's so many people, like you said, like Alondra, like Jackie, like you, that put themselves out there, and that motivates me to also like, oh, I can do it too. So yeah, just I don't know.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, no worries. But I did just want to say thank you again for just joining me, because I'm really grateful. Like literally, I'm taking this as like season 2 of last year's Christmas, and I feel like we've just upgraded so much, and I'm just like so happy because I chose the people that I did for this podcast to get interviewed for a reason, because I feel, I don't know, like I'm giving y'all the credit you need. Oh, wait, no. I said that wrong. I meant more so like y'all don't need credit because y'all already have. But I meant more so. What's it called? Like I'm bringing the people that I care about the most back on, because I really feel like I have confidence in y'all. In the sense of like y'all are gonna do big things. And I'm happy you were back. But this is going to be the end of the podcast. I do really just thank you for coming on. And I do thank every single person that made it to the end. If you did, I really do appreciate it.
We did a lot of yapping.
I know we did do a lot of yapping, but this was for sure an official podcast, because this is a long one today. This is a long one. But I'm so glad y'all were able to hear a little bit more about Luisa herself and learn a little bit just more of her dynamic. And maybe you might have gotten something out of this podcast. And if you did, make sure to go follow her on Instagram. I'm going to try to link all her socials on the links below. On the description below. But once again, we thank you for joining us today, and stay subscribed and stay tuned, because we have a lot more podcasts and interviews coming up. So I do appreciate everyone that made it to the end, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, and have a Merry Christmas. Bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye.